What's up, everybody? I'm back. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. Apparently, my mic wasn't working, and I sounded like a robot. So, uh, if you guys can let me know, we already did a test before I came back on here. But if you guys hear anything funky, let me know. But it should be working all good. I'm assuming there's no complaining, so we're good. Anyway, yeah, it's been a while since we did Variant Live. Like I was saying before, I think I haven't been on here for the last 2 weeks or so, but lots of news has happened. This past weekend, we actually put up an episode where I went through all the San Diego Comic Con news that came out, which was a ton. I'm not going to talk about all of that today, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of like pick some of the biggest news out and kind of talk a little bit more in depth about some of the biggest news that came out of Comic Con, like the Shazam trailer, Aquaman, and so on and so forth. So that is what we're going to do today. But before I get into that, I do want to say, as you guys know, on Variant Live, we're watching My Hero Academia season 3, but I watched the dub version, and the dub version is behind because I guess they have to, revoice it in English, so it's a little behind. So there is no new episodes as of now for me to talk about. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to wait till next week, and hopefully, a new episode will go up. I believe the last one I watched, spoiler, season 3, is when all of the heroes moved into an apartment together, like campus apartment. It was a filler episode, 100%. Like, as you guys know, anime has filler episodes all the time, and that's what this one was, where they just moved into an apartment and they had a contest of who had the best room, which was kind of funny, but totally filler. Had nothing to do with the big picture of My Hero Academia. Anyway, so hopefully there's a new episode up this weekend. If there is, then I'll be talking about it next Monday. If you guys want to watch along with me, you don't have a way of doing that. You could do that by clicking the link in the description below. The good people at Verve, we're good friends with them. We partner with them, and if you click the link in the description below, you get a free 30-day ad-free trial to watch all the anime you want. 30 days for freezies. So I recommend you do that if you have no other way of doing it. Plus, I've been watching Gary and his demons on there, which, just so you know, in case there's any younger audience listening, it's a very rated R cartoon. But if you are of age, it is hilarious. It is really funny. It's basically about a guy who hunts demons who doesn't want to hunt demons, but he's the chosen one. Hilarious. They're like, I think there's 12 episodes in the first season. It's exclusive to Verve, and they're only like 11-minute long episodes. So they're 11 minutes long. There's only 12 episodes. You could just knock it out in like a sitting. It's like a movie, but it's hilarious. I recommend you watch that. So even if you don't want to do My Hero Academia, click the link in the description below. Like I said, you have 30 days to watch whatever you want for free, and you can watch Gary and his Demons. Really, really fun show. Kind of is like Rick and Morty, but not. But it's like that kind of, adult cartoon esque. Anyway, I'm rambling. With that said, let's get into some of the news that's happened over the past few weeks. First, I'm going to start it off with Shazam, just because that is probably the trailer, the superhero trailer I have been most excited about since we got all these new trailers this past week at Comic Con and stuff. It looks so much fun. Like, I think the coolest thing about this trailer for me is it's literally just like a kids movie. Like, it's just like a big kids movie. Like, and that's what I feel like this should be. And like a lot of superhero movies should be. Not all of them. There's characters that don't lend themselves a lot. Like Deadpool's definitely not a kid pool movie. I mean, I said kid pool. Look at that, a kid movie and stuff. But I feel like Shazam is I mean, it's like this little like 12, 13-year-old boy who says the word Shazam and he's pretty much becomes Superman. It's like a 13-year-old kid in the body of Superman, essentially. So yes, this very much should be like a big kids movie. And I know they were comparing it to like Superhero Meets Big with Tom Hanks, which is an awesome movie. If you guys haven't seen that, the younger generation out there, definitely rent that on iTunes or something. It's hilarious with Tom Hanks. Uh anyway, it's basically like that, and it's amazing. Like, I feel like Zachary Levi is just based off the trailer is embodying a big kid so well. Like the bit where they're walking through the mall and he's like, your phone's charged, your phone's charged. Like, that's just all that kind of stuff is hilarious. And he's like, his friend, Freddie's like, can you fly? He's like, fly. I don't even know how to pee in this thing. Like, all those little things. It's like, yes, because that kind of stuff happens in the comics, and it just makes sense because, again, it's this little kid in this superhero Superman esque body. So I am very, very excited for it, especially like the very end of the trailer where they're walking out of the convenience store after he realizes he's bulletproof, and he beats up the criminals or the thieves in in the convenience store, and he's drinking a soda, and like a girl walks by, is like, "Sup, I'm a superhero." Like that kind of like just yes, more and more of that. So so good. Just the whole tone. Zachary Levy looks like he's gonna do a fantastic job embodying like that big kid, personality. Like it's totally believable. Just the whole vibe of the trailer. Shazam, the wizard himself, looks awesome. I just love the way it looks. It's yes, I'm all in. I know it's like I'm drooling over this, but I am so this is mm, besides the Avengers 4, Infinity War 4, or whatever you want to call that, the next Avengers movie that's coming out next year, the conclusion to Infinity War. This is probably the superhero movie I'm looking forward to the most, like hands down. It just looks like so much fun. Staying in the DC universe, so I don't keep drooling over that. But again, it looks like the New 52. I like the New 52 Shazam. I love old classic Shazam, but I really did also like what Jeff Johns did with Shazam in the New 52. It looks like that. It's based off of that. Let's move on. Aquaman. Aquaman, I didn't like as much. I didn't think it looked horrible, but I've said it before on social media. I said it a little bit on this Saturday's episode variant. I think it just has some problems with it. I think the main thing for me is the CGI looks a little wonky, and Jason Momoa. I love Jason Momoa with all my heart. Like I just want to go get beers with him and hang out so much. He looks like such a fun guy. But I'm not sure I'm all in with this like surfer bro, like, version of Aquaman. It's almost like he's like a frat boy that surfs. And I don't know. It's like in Justice League, I felt like he was actually one of the better characters in the movie and it worked. But, him doing that for 2.5 hours straight, I don't know if it will translate. I hope it does. I'm not saying it's not gonna. Again, I haven't seen the movie, but that's the vibe I was getting from it. So those are my two complaints. And then just the CGI mainly, I guess, looks a little video gamey, but they're not done with it. The movie's coming out in December. They're going to be working, all the way up until then. So I'm still excited though. With that said, though, on the positive, it looks like fun. I'm excited to see Aquaman in his classic orange and green costume. Mira looks awesome. She kind of looks like Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Like 100. Look like if you just pull her clips out, it looks just like a live action movie for The Little Mermaid. But she looks great. Black Manta looks awesome. Oh man, he looks like he was pulled right out of Super Friends. They're just so so good. Although he looks a little bulkier than he is in the comics and cartoons, but still cool. Still, uh, looks really cool. Orm slash Ocean Master, played by Patrick Wilson. I love me some Patrick Wilson. He was fantastic in Hard Candy. He was fantastic as Night Owl in Watchmen, which not Scott, Zack Snyder did. I just love Patrick Wilson and pretty much everything he's in, and him being Ocean Master. Yes, yes. I actually was listening to a podcast with Kevin Smith, and Kevin Smith, every year he does the IMDb vote at San Diego Comic Con, so he gets to interview all these people for TV shows and movies and stuff. And he interviewed James Wan, and Kevin Smith, I guess, was impressed with how they're gonna go classic looks with Ocean Master. He's got the helmet, he's got the purple suit. Aquaman's gonna have the orange and green suit by the end of the movie. So he's like, were you like worried about like how that's gonna translate into this movie? He's like, no, man. He's like, that's like part of the mythos. Like it's fun explaining that stuff. And he basically alluded to that they're gonna explain why Aquaman's gonna get that classic costume because we've seen him in BVS a cameo. He was shirtless with some armored pants and a weird strap thing. Then in Justice League, he just had this golden dark green armor, which was like, never really seen anything like that. And now this, we're finally gonna get a classic armor. But apparently he's gonna explain in the movie why Ocean Master and Aquaman, have their armors slash suits slash costumes slash whatever the heck you want to call them, their classic looks. So I thought that's really cool. But I am still excited for it. I'm just not as excited for it. I hope it's good. You guys know I'm a massive DC fan. I want all these movies to do great. So yeah, and then what we heard from Wonder Woman 84 just looks like more of Wonder Woman, which basically means more of good because Wonder Woman was awesome. That was, to me, that's the best DC EU movie thus far, and I'm sure many of you. But before we move into some other stuff, I want to stick in the movie universe and what the main first title of this episode is. Uh, Disney officially bought Fox. It is a done deal. All the shareholders are like, "Yep, paper signed." Disney owns it. That means we've talked about it before on the show, but it was all like speculation and it wasn't 100% done. Uh, so that means they own X-Men. That means they own Fantastic Four. That means they own Deadpool. so they could use, all the characters within those universes. But besides even the superhero stuff, that means they have the Planet of the Apes franchise. That means they have the Aliens franchise. That means they have the Predators franchise. Uh, just that means they have the Die Hard franchise. And then on TV shows, that means they own Simpsons. That means they own X Files. It's just like on and on and on. Besides like getting like a digital platform over in the UK, which they own 40% of now, it's just insane. But they have all that stuff now, which is awesome and amazing. But obviously, for us comic book fans, the main thing is what I first said: X-Men and Fantastic Four, and even Deadpool. So I've said it before. I kind of thought it'd be fun to talk about like what would be really cool, for Marvel Studios to do now that they have the X-Men and Fantastic Four. Meaning they have Galactus as well. They have Silver Surfer. They have Doctor Doom. They have like all the characters that live in those respective universes. So having the X-Men means you also have Apocalypse. You could do all that stuff. You have like Mojo. You have Lady Deathstrike. Like you use like all those villains and everything in there too, because that's that universe. Um, so what I personally thought would always be cool, I think I've mentioned it on the show before. I'm not 100% sure. I know I've said it to friends and family though, because I'm like, that'd be cool. Like if next year at like San Diego Comic Con or D23, whatever their big Marvel Studios slash Disney's big conference or panel is next year. Like, because obviously we're gonna get Avengers 4, what it's being called now, in May of next year. And that's gonna, reset for not reset, but it's gonna, show us where phase 4 is going. So I thought it'd be cool if next year for the next, let's say San Diego Comic Con, Marvel Studios wasn't at Hall H this year, but if they are next year or D23 again, whatever it may be, uh, they're like, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, that. Kevin Feige comes on stage and it just goes to a screen and then they're like phase 4, right? But Fantastic Four, it's like the Marvel Studios phase 4, but the 4 is the Fantastic Four logo, right? You don't tell me if you're in that room or you sit online and you see that video and it's like this really cool edited video and it's like Marvel Studios 10 years, whatever. They're like, continuing and like the phase 4, like they do phase 1, 2, 3, and they kind of show clips of all the phases. And then it's like, but now phase 4 and the Fantastic Four logo comes up for phase 4, everyone would lose their crap. But at the end of that, then the 4 logo comes up and it's just like a teaser, like a reel or whatever, and then like claws slit through it, and it's the 3 claws like Wolverine. Dude, dude, that's all you would have to do. You wouldn't even have to show a costume. You wouldn't have to announce anything. That's all you would have to do is have phase 4, the Fantastic Four logo comes up, and then it just stays there, and then the 3 claws slice through it for like alluding to like Wolverine, the X-Men. That's all you, and everyone would lose their crap. That's what I'm pitching to Marvel Studios. It's all you would have to do, and that would be amazing. So I think it'd be I don't think it would be smart to launch them off the bat. I know Captain Marvel's of it. No, Captain Marvel's before the Phase 4. Oh wow. Yeah. So I don't think the first movie out the gate for Phase 4 should be an X-Men or Fantastic Four movie. I think they should do something like Marvel Studios has been doing forever. They do slow burns where they kind of introduce a character or two and another movie they have set up, like maybe Spider-Man Homecoming 3, because by then, or no, Spider-Man Homecoming 2 is after that. Yeah, no, Spider-Man Homecoming 2, maybe there's a tease to like Reed Richards or something in there for Fantastic Four, and then eventually you get like a solo Fantastic Four movie or a solo X-Men movie, and then you do all these movies like Marvel Studios has been doing forever. Then you give X-Men, their trilogy, Fantastic Four, their trilogy, or whatever, however they want to branch it out. But like the big culmination for the end of that phase, because every phase has a huge like culmination. Like Avengers was for phase 1 and all that stuff, and then obviously phase 3 is going to be the end of this Infinity War arc for Avengers 4. What if like they do all these solo movies and they build up to it? The very last thing for phase 4 is an Avengers versus X-Men movie. Dude, and then you could break that up into 2 movies because that's a lot. Dude, again, everyone would lose their crap. That would be amazing. I know there's been some rumors about a Secret War movie, which I guess you could do. Would be very different from the comics, but again, a lot of stuff they're doing is very different from the comics. So I guess that could work as well, or Secret Invasion, even with all the Kree and stuff like that. But I know me personally, I would be all about seeing Avengers versus X-Men movie. That would be awesome. Very, very cool. So yeah, lots of big announcements I see in the future, especially at D23's next year, San Diego Comic-Con again. So yeah, I saw here's some of the I said Avengers versus X-Men stuck in the comics. I actually kind of enjoyed it. But even if it did, that concept is still cool enough because it's not going to be just like Civil War, like they did the Civil War movie. That was nothing like the comic. It had like the same plot points as far as like the division of the teams and stuff, but that wasn't like the comics at all. Just that idea of pinning them against each other, and the reason why the Avengers are fighting the X-Men, just playing with that and then do your own with it on the big screen, that would be cool. So that's my 2 cents on that. But that's the big news everyone was tweeting about this weekend, because that's crazy, because Disney's taking over the world, and soon they're probably gonna own everything. Yeah, it's only a matter of time. What do they probably own, like 70% of all media by now? It's insane. Yeah. So moving on, let's talk about some actual comic book news. One of the coolest things, there's been tons of comic book news. Again, it's all recapped in our San Diego Comic Con episode, that you can go find. It's literally the episode before this one. But there was lots of actual comic book news. A lot from DC. One of the coolest ones from DC, I thought, is Batman. The Batman Who Laughs is getting a solo series. So that's really cool. I know he's a hugely popular character. I loved him. He was the coolest thing to come out of Metal for sure. It's our most viewed episode for the little Metal run we did, where we did the origins. I went and broke down all the origins of all the Dark Knights, the evil Batman. But yeah, he's getting his own solo series, and in that series, they're apparently going to introduce another evil Batman who's basically described as a Batman Punisher. He's got like guns and arsenal all over his back and stuff like that, and he's just like a Batman Punisher hybrid. Like, it's not a crossover of Marvel, but it's described as like Batman meets Punisher. So that looks like it could be really, really good. Scott Snyder's writing it, and the artist will be Jock, who did Wake with him. If you guys haven't read Wake, that is a fantastic series, and it's pretty much, I describe it as like the Alien movies, but like underwater and with sea monsters and not aliens. Really, really good comic. If you guys haven't checked that out and you want, something a little indie or out of the superhero box, that's what I recommend. It's one of my all-time favorite like indie type comics. But we got that coming out. Something I didn't talk about in San Diego Comic Con, on the San Diego Comic Con recap episode, which I need to talk about because I don't know how I missed that, was the Three Jokers story was announced officially. I think we knew we were getting it, but it's announced. It's happening. Jason Fabok is doing it, and yeah, Jeff Johns is writing it. It's going to be a 3-issue miniseries, and it was basically described as it's going to explore the Joker, like the 3 different Jokers, in the sense where like you have the Barbara Gordon Joker, where she shot her, paralyzed her. You have the Jason Todd Joker, which killed Jason Todd, and then you have just the Batman's Joker. Now, it's really weird because I don't know if this whole 3 Joker thing. I put 3 on both. That's like 6. 3. This whole 3 Joker thing is more of a psychological thing. Like, do 3 Jokers exist in that sense? Which is why the Mobius chair told Batman at the end of the Dark Side War, yeah, there's 3 Jokers, but like in like a more of a metaphorical sense, or is there physically 3 Jokers? I don't know. I feel like this story is going to be more of a mind f, because I don't know how Jeff Johns is going to explain there literally physically being 3 different Jokers, especially all these years. I mean, if anyone could do it, he could, but I feel like it's going to be more of a mind f than 3 physical Jokers. I'm really excited for it. We're going to be covering it here on the show. I mean, how could we not? It's Jeff Johns, it's Jason Fabok, and it's 3 Jokers. So probably the most popular villain in all of comic books. So, and he's definitely my favorite villain in comic books. So, followed by probably, I'd say, Reverse Flash. I've been loving some Reverse Flash last year. Loving. Been loving him more the more I read about him and stuff like that, and go back and read old stories. Anyway, that's that for the three Joker story. But I also want to talk about Superior Octopus. You guys know Superior Spider-Man was a really, really good story. Most people loved it. I loved it. I thought it was really clever. I know people were pissed. They're like, how is Dr. Octopus Spider-Man now? But like, I always tell people, I'm like, because the people always ask me, Arris, what do you think they killed this character? What do you think that this person is Thor? What do you think that this person's now Batman? I'm like, it's gonna last like a year or two, like, and then it's gonna revert back. Like, they have to. Like, these characters are never gonna be permanently that. So like, while I guess I do have an opinion on it, it's never really affects me because I'm like, it's a matter of time. Like, for this instance, it's a matter of time before Peter Parker is Spider-Man again. Lo and behold, when Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, Peter Parker was back in the costume. So yeah, but anyway, that was a really good run. It was really cool to see how, one of Spider-Man's uh you know baddest enemies, or one of his deadliest foes had dealt with being Spider-Man, and the psychological aspect to it and stuff. Really, really cool. Plus Dr. Octopus kind of battles it out for my favorite Spider-Man villain. It's like Green Goblin, Octopus. Just depends on the day, you ask me. But he's getting his own series now because that was such a big success and people and fans liked it so much that now we're gonna see him be the superior octopus. And apparently he shoots webs from the top of his wrists, all like Venom style, like from the top. So he's got like web shooters on the top and not like the twip thing like that. So I'm very curious for that series. Definitely gonna check it out. And another thing I cannot not talk about. I know I'm kind of jumping around a bit, guys, but there's a lot to talk about. But another thing I cannot talk about is the Young Justice season 3 trailer. Now, I love the way they did it in the sense that like they gave you like a recap. It was all the old footage from the previous seasons, and then the last like minute or so is like the new stuff, and the new footage looks awesome. Although I will say, this is kind of nitpicky, I didn't feel like the music they used for the trailer matched the tone or whatever. Like the footage was awesome, and I'm super excited for Young Justice season 3. It looks like the jokes are gonna be in line. It's the same exact animation, like all the same creative team. Super excited for it. But am I the only one who thought the music was weird? Like it didn't really work with the trailer. Like once you get into the new season 3 footage, like it felt a little weird. I don't know. Like I was like, that was a weird like music choice for me because like music could change, make or break the mood for anything. Like it could make something that's normally happy feel sad or vice versa. So I don't know. That's my little nitpick with it. But I'm super super excited for Young Justice Outsider season 3. Again, the footage they show look awesome. You see Batman fighting Bane. You see like Kid Flash there, Nightwing. Oh, you know who I'm most excited for? Spoiler. I love me some Spoiler. So to see her in this series is going to be really, really cool. And I'm curious because they're not giving everything away. So I'm curious to see what they haven't shown and they haven't told us that is going to appear in the show. That's what I'm curious for because they're not, because that was a trailer, but we only got like 40 seconds to a minute of new footage. So I'm really curious to see what surprises they have. And it's not going to be, it was originally going to be dropping this year. Now it's not going to be dropping till next year, I believe, early next year. They keep saying like early next year, like kind of like Titans is coming out fall of this year. So it's like, what does that mean? Give me a date. I want to know. I want to be excited for it. But yeah, that's all the oh no, I do have one bit in I was gonna say that's all the news. I mean, no, there is one thing that came out today that I have to talk about because it's very, very interesting. So apparently, Zack Snyder, yes, Zack. I always get Scott Snyder and Zack Snyder confused because they both work in like comic book movies, and yeah, one's a director, one's a comic writer. Anyway, Zack Snyder, the director of Watchmen, BVS, Man of Steel, Justice League, went on social media today and he confirmed because basically today a VFX reel was released with deleted scenes from Suicide Squad, and in that there was a scene, an unused scene of Batman and Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. You guys know the scene from Suicide Squad where Batman pulls Harley Quinn out of the water and he throws her top of the Batmobile and all that stuff. Well, apparently that scene was longer and they cut some of it, and Batman mouths to Harley Quinn that Joker took what's most important from me. Now I'm going to do the same. Like that's me paraphrasing, but he says that, right? So people are asking on Twitter, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? And Zack Snyder replies, literally just says in caps, Richard. Now, what is the nickname or the shorter name for Richard? Like if someone's called Matthew, you call them, if someone's name is Matthew, you call them Matt. If someone's Richard, you call them Dick Grayson. So he said that Dick Grayson was the one that was dead in the dead Robin in BVS. You guys know in Batman vs Superman where he has the Robin costume on display hanging there with the haha jokes on you Batman. That wasn't Jason Todd like we all assumed. That was in fact Dick Grayson, which makes no sense to me, and it's kind of it's annoying to me but not annoying to me because he's not doing he has nothing to do with the DCEU anymore. And I know that he has a big fan base and people want the Snyder cut and all that stuff, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of happy because I personally don't like the direction he was going. Like, and that is a perfect example. Like, why? Like, it is such like a no-brainer for that to be Jason Todd. Like, why Richard? Why Richard Grayson? Like, that makes no sense. Like that means you're not going to get Nightwing. That means you kill him. We never see him because he died before we saw him in the movie unless you do flashbacks. and now we don't get Nightwing unless he's resurrected somehow, like what happened to Jason Todd. But why would you switch that around and do it to Dick Grayson and not just leave it with Jason Todd? Plus, you know how cool it would be to see to have like a DC Red Hood movie. Come on, man. I don't know. That was just it was just weird to me that that was his choice. So I am happy that it seems like DC and Warner are gonna ignore that and just do their own thing. Or I've been hearing rumors that BVS might even be out of DCEU continuity completely. Like they might try to erase that somehow, which I think would be hard though, because that also is still a big driving force in Justice League, where Batman's like, "Oh, I was wrong about Superman. Was completely wrong about him. He was a beacon of light," which I was one of my biggest scraps of the movie. It's like, dude, you literally wanted to kill this guy. Then you found out that like your mother's had the same name, and now you're like, he was a beacon of light. I love that guy. It's like, no, you didn't. I don't know. That was my biggest gripe with Justice League. Anyway, it'd be really hard for them to retcon that, I think, unless you do Flashpoint. But again, another rumor going around is that Flashpoint is not a thing anymore, and that the solo Flash movie is now going to be an origin story, which I think is a big mistake because literally Flashpoint is your way to retcon everything, to explain why the Matt Reeves movie is going to have a new Batman, to fix all this BVS stuff like that, because it's time. You literally, the whole point of Flashpoint is it messes up the timelines and everything's changing different. Like that is like, again, it's like right there. Like the comic book writers wrote it for you. Just take it, and us comic book fans would be happy. He's like, yeah, it's kind of how it happened in the comic books. That makes sense. So it's like, yeah, that's your easy way to retcon everything. I don't know. That's just me. Yeah. So that's my 2 cents. But I do want to mention one more thing before I go out of that is Titans. Titans was the huge thing that I want to elaborate a little bit more on. Titans is going to be the first live action show on DC's streaming app. It's actually going to be the first show. It's like their flagship show, apparently. It's going to be on the DC Universe app, which looks awesome, guys. If you guys are planning on getting it, it's $74.99 right now, and you get a whole year plus 3 bonus months for free. So for $75, you get 15 months, where if you do it the other way, you're going to be paying $9 a month. So that's just letting you guys know. You go to their website, sign up, be cool. Anyway, the Titans trailer, man, is this a polarizing trailer? Overall, I'm going to be honest. I even said it on social media the day the trailer was released. I'm not a fan. I don't think it looks that great. I'm not even going to really sugarcoat it. I mean, Robin's costume still looks really cool. But Raven looks all right. I think she looks the second best. Beast Boy does not look cool. I don't think and Starfire does not look good. I don't think at all, which kind of sucks because I'm a big fan of the Teen Titans. I love Robin, I love Raven, Starfire, and all those characters. So it's just I thought that this show was going to be more like kind of like like when Netflix does original stuff or Hulu does original stuff or Amazon Prime does original stuff, it's more of higher quality than like normal like TV sitcoms like Supergirl or The Flash, which I love The Flash and I love a lot of those shows, but they're just fun shows. They're a little cheesy, but it's fun because of that. It's kind of tongue in cheek, and you don't expect like this Game of Thrones, Homeland, type quality where or like even Bright on Netflix, where that clearly looks like a movie, and the other ones you could tell are clearly on set. There's a big difference between what like a sitcom TV show looks like, or just a like a CW or freeform show looks like, compared to like something on Netflix or Hulu or HBO. Like it's just the production budget is higher, so it looks better, and all that stuff. So I thought with this, that's what that was going to be, but it basically looks like the same, like a CW show that's just allowed to be darker and edgier, which is a bit weird. Because also, like, I don't care. I'm not the one to be like, "Oh my god, they said an F word. I don't like it." Like, I don't care, like, like at all. I'm not like, "Yes, I want F words," or "No, I don't want F words." I'm like, whatever. If it works in the story, sure. That's all I care about. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But for the Teen Titans, I don't personally feel that like you need to do that with them. Like they're not really like, sure, like Robins and stuff have cursed and stuff over the years in comics, but like for a Teen Titan show, I think they're like forcing it to be like something it shouldn't be, at least from what we all know. Like it's supposed, like for me, I would have gone like a little more, not like poppy fun, but a little more fun and lighter with serious situations, not like F Batman. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just really weird. Like it's like it just seemed like it's forced. I don't like things when they're forced. Like if it's natural, whatever. But stuff like that, I don't like when it's like it seems like they're just trying to be edgy and dark, and that's just weird to me. Again, I have no problem with that stuff. Like Deadpool freaking super rated R movie, one of my favorite superhero movies or movies ever. But again, that's because it works for the character. It just works in general. But when you're making Robin and like these teens, like that we all know that to be like something else, this dark, brooding, like edgy version for no reason. It's just weird. I don't know. That's my personal opinion. I mean, you could still do. I think if you guys have read like the Judas Contract, which is probably one of the most popular Teen Titan stories ever, just like that, it has serious situations in adult tones and stuff, but it's like at the same time, it's not like this forced like everything's just so dark and gloomy and like I don't know. That's that let's see. Wait. Like, and I know Jeff Johns said that like, well, at this point in the trailer where Robin had a falling out with Batman. It's like, okay, but like I don't know, like maybe just like explain I don't know. Well, it was that's like implied though. Like of course he had some kind of if he's saying that clearly he's not on good terms with Batman. So I just feel like that was like an explanation where I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense why you're saying that." Then I don't know. It was just weird. It was just off-putting. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks that because it's very split. Because I posted on social media and a lot of people, I would say actually most people agree with me with that. So it's just I don't know. It just seemed yeah. Someone said Titans trailer did have Fox edgy moments. Yeah, it's just like it was too forced. Like if it felt natural, fine. It just doesn't feel natural, and these characters aren't really like that in the comics, which makes it feel more forced. So it's just like, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna open this up to some questions because I know I probably missed tons of stuff you guys want me to talk about or news. So you guys ask away in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer questions for several minutes before uh, I get out of here. So let's see. Mr. Coyote 91 says, which Robin is this in Titans? That's Dick Grayson Robin. So Dick Grayson, like the best, like, you know, the OG Robin's like, yeah, I hate Batman now. Which again, in the time, that kind of happened in the comic books where he did have a falling out with Batman and he felt like he needed to be his own and stuff like that. But again, this whole like forced edgy just didn't work for me personally. All right, Spider-Man. Dude, Spider-Man. Spider-Man asks, "What is your favorite Marvel Legends figure?" Ooh, that's a hard one. My favorite one. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Okay, on a pure cool factor, let's see. A pure cool factor, I think the Sandman Build-A-Figure is awesome. The Sandman wave. So is the Rhino. But overall, I think the McFarlane Spider-Man done years ago by Toy Biz. That one and the new McFarlane Spider-Man from the San Diego Comic-Con Raft set pack that was released, I believe, last San Diego Comic-Con. That's a hard one. I have a bunch of Marvel Legends, so that one is pretty cool. The new Carnage figure with the axe hand that just is hitting stores now with the Cletus Cassidy alternate head is really cool too. So one of those. Da, da, da. Ryan Hazen says, "What do you think Zack Snyder saying Dick is dead?" I talked about that earlier. Apparently Joker killed him, which should have been Jason Todd, which is why I'm kind of like, that's weird. Why'd you do that? Is this my life? Question mark asks, will we be Batman? Will we see Batman on the Batgirl show or Titans? I don't know. I'm hoping that in the Titan show we see Batman like either through flashbacks or something of the sort. I know we're probably going to see Red Hood, which will be the first time we see him live action. I'm so excited. You guys know I love me some Jason Todd Red Hood. So I know we're going to do that, but hopefully we see Batman. I mean, clearly, Dick Grayson has a falling out with Batman, and it's going to be a big part of his story. So I would assume we're gonna see him in some capacity, whether we see Bruce Wayne and not him in the costume. I'd imagine he'd have to be there in one way or another. All right. I am Shazam 90. What are your thoughts on the Venom movie? I didn't get to see. Unfortunately I didn't get to go to San Diego Comic Con this year. But from the first Venom trailer we got, I'm excited. I think it looks cool. I'm kind of bummed that it's not in the MCU because I would love Tom Hardy Venom to go up against. Did I say Tom Hardy Venom? Yeah, Tom Hardy Venom to go up against Tom Holland Spider Man. That would be awesome. And apparently now in the Venom movie, like he's not gonna have the white symbiote spider on his chest because this Venom, because in the comics Venom becomes Venom because he hates Spider Man and then he infects Eddie Brock. But in this universe, this Venom movie universe, he doesn't meet Spider-Man, so he doesn't have that spider symbol on his chest, which is kind of stupid, but it makes sense for the movie because, yeah. But the purist in me is like, but that's Venom. So what are you gonna do? Tom Hardy looks good though, and I think the trailer looks fun, and I'm excited for it. It could be a cool, really cool trilogy, especially like if it's gonna be rated R like it is, because Venom. See, perfect example. Venom and like Carnage and those symbiotes 100% lend themselves to rated Rness and edginess because that's who they are. Freaking Cletus Cassidy is like one of the most sadistic characters in all of comic books. Like he's probably even worse than the Joker. Like he put a power drill through a puppy's head. Like so that makes sense to be edgy and do that. but Teen Titans not so much. um yeah, in short, I'm excited for the Venom movie. Let's see. Antonio Banks, I think Zack Snyder is just saying BS. I kind of hold on, let me take a sip. I kind of agree with that because he's like, it seems like every other week since he's been released from Warner Brothers and their comic division has been kind of releasing pictures and like deleted scenes and stuff from Batman v Superman and just all the stuff he's worked on. So it's like he's trying to hold on to it and still get the internet on his side by releasing exclusive footage that we haven't seen or pictures and stuff like that. So he's definitely holding on to something. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about him, but you can clearly tell that like he wants to still be doing the DC stuff and he's not happy that he's not. So he's trying to hold on to it with every last bit. Like people, it's still relevant if I'm still releasing new images that people's never seen. So I kind of feel bad for him in that sense. But yeah, he could entirely be just saying that to effort everyone and make the internet, put the internet in a uproar because I'm here talking about it today. So yeah, maybe he did on purpose to get some traction on the internet. All right. Let's see. Carlos Franco, what do you think of the Death of Superman animated movie? Haven't seen it yet. Comes out, I believe, next Tuesday, which of course I will get it. Then I will watch it and talk about it either on Variant Live or a Saturday episode. I've been hearing good things though, so this one might be worth the Saturday episode to really talk about it. So, but if not, then Variant Live. But yes, I will be talking about it within the coming weeks. Let's see. Jordex 11 says, "Is there going to be a Joker movie?" Apparently, um, Jared Leto's getting his own Joker movie, and so is Joaquin Phoenix. I'm excited for the Joaquin Phoenix one, and I'm just curious for the Jared Leto one. But yes, there's apparently going to be 2 Joker solo movies coming out soon. One's going to be under the Black Label division, which is Joaquin Phoenix's, which is out of DCU continuity, and Jared Leto's is going to be within the DCEU continuity. Confusing? Yes, I know. But what do I say all the time? Thus is comics. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna answer a few more and then get out of here, guys. Da-da-dum. William Dafoe as the Joker. I know I've been seeing that meme all over online for a while. It's because he looks when you put like Photoshop him, he looks just like the Mark Hamill Arkham Asylum Joker from the video game, like from Arkham Knight Asylum, stuff like that. He looks cool. Like if they were to do that, like if they were to do an Arkham Knight or Arkham Asylum movie based on from the Arkham verse, 100%. But other than that, I think someone else. But I mean, so many people are playing the Joker now. We got 2 Jokers. Whoever thought we'd have 2 live action Jokers at the same time? Joaquin Phoenix and Jared Leto. That's crazy. That's some crazy stuff. All right. Isaiah asked, "What do you think of the Spider-Man PS4 and the rise of the Marvel gaming universe?" Dude, I am super excited for the new PS4 game. I have an Xbox One. I don't have a PS4. So I'm going to have to figure out how to play that game because there's no way I'm not playing that game. Every time I go to GameStop, I've been to GameStop like twice in the last month, and they're like, "Do you want to pre-order the new PS4 thing?" And I'm like, "No, not yet. I don't have PS4." But I will get my hands on a copy and console somehow. If I have to borrow it from a friend or family member, it's gonna happen. So I could at least play the game, and then that way I could talk to it about you guys. But it basically looks like the Batman Arkham games with Spider-Man. Yes, yes, please. Those are 2 of my favorite superheroes. So yeah, all I need now is like a Flash game. Oh, can you imagine a Flash video game? I love playing as the Flash. The Flash is probably my favorite character to play as in the Injustice 2. I could wreck some shop with Flash. His moves are awesome. So yeah. Colin G. Sylvana in Shazam movie. Yeah, he looks awesome. Again, that's right out of Jeff John's New 52. He was one of the main villains. It was him and Black Adam. in his New 52 Shazam run. So yeah, Mark Strong looks fantastic as him. Looks ripped right out of the comics. I'm down. Obviously, once the movies comes closer, you guys will get a history of Sylvana episode, and we'll talk about him so you can learn about him before you see the movie. Eating Bose, more Arkham games, yes or no? Heck yeah, heck yes. I was sad that the Arkham Knight was the last one, or maybe they could do extended universe ones, because it would be cool if they did announce that that Superman game that was in the same universe as the Arkham games. That would be really cool too. Who wouldn't want to fly around and punch people and lift things? That would be pretty great. Open world game with Superman. Come on now, punching down buildings and stuff. Yes, please. Injustice 1 or Injustice 2? Injustice 2, purely because the gameplay is so much better. A lot of cool better moves and stuff like that. The story was really cool though too. I love the alternate endings. Uh, the I did like okay, spoiler for Injustice 2. The game's been out for over a year, so it's not really a spoiler, but here it is. The alternate ending, the one where Superman gets all of Brainiac's tech, and then Brain puts like the node or whatever on Batman, and is controlling Batman through Brainiac's tech, and then you just see the both of them come up in their like Brainiac costumes, and then Supergirl is like trapped in like that red sun like prison thing. Yeah, that was really cool. That was really yes, that because then the other one or the normal ending is just they defeat Superman and they put him in the Phantom Zone. So the other one was kind of cool. It's just like what? Yes, and it just lends more to it, because the normal one it's like it's in the Phantom Zone. He's gonna escape again. The other one lends more, I think, to a cooler story going forward. So that's my 2 cents. All right, one more question, guys, and I am gonna get out of here. Let's see. I'm gonna look for one that tickles my fancy per se. Actually, no, before I go, I do want to talk about one thing. So I said it right there. Godzilla. Yes, the new Godzilla trailer looks so cool. I just want to see all these big monsters fight. Apparently, because we got Mothra in the trailer, Rodan and Ghidorah, as well as Godzilla, obviously. But apparently, there's going to be more that we didn't even see in the trailer. So yes, I like growing up. I would always watch the Godzilla marathons where they would put, I think it was like on TNT or like AMC or whatever, but they would do the marathons and they would play like, King of Monsters and all that stuff. And you would get like, watch Godzilla movies all day. And I would just plant my butt in front of the TV and hope my mom's like, hope my mom wasn't like, we got to go to the store. Cause I just wanted to watch Godzilla all day. And then I had like a little Godzilla figure and I'd hold it. And yeah. All right. For real though. One more question and I will get out of here. Dragon Ball. Oh yeah, Dragon Ball Broly. That looks really cool. That's another. I guess people have been asking about that. Yeah. So Dragon Ball Broly. Um, I will say it's getting some it's gonna take some getting used to for me because I'm used to Broly looking a certain way, and now that he's in canon because the original Broly we all know and love, and the Forgotten Saiyan or whatever that everyone knows and love, technically wasn't in canon with the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z universe. That was a movie that wasn't in canon because it wasn't created by the Dragon Ball creator. This Broly, he took him, and now this is going to be the first canonical version of Broly. So this is like the real Broly, apparently, or is because now he's actually in canon. So he pretty much looks the same. His outfit's a little different, and he's a little thinner. I kind of liked how big and bulky he was before. They kind of slimmed him down a little bit, not too much, but definitely a noticeable amount. But as for the trailer, it looks really cool. I mean, it's a Super Saiyan I said Super Saiyan movie. It's a Dragon Ball movie with Broly again, and it's like he's in canon. So I'm curious to see what they do with it. Uh I do want another trailer, a longer trailer, but yes. What I'm more excited for than even the Dragon Ball Broly movie is the My Hero Academia movie that's gonna come out later this year, and they're gonna actually release it in theaters, and you could watch it dubbed or subbed, and apparently it's gonna be like a flashback sort of movie where it shows us All Might in his earlier years. Yes, please. I'm totally on the My Hero Academia train. I love me some Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, but I am enjoying My Hero Academia more currently. But Broly, again, the movie looks awesome. I'm definitely going to see it, and I will always be a Dragon Ball fan till the end. Although these new forms are kind of getting a little crazy. It's like how many more forms can Goku and Vegeta and all these guys reach. It's like Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, not canonical, but still happened. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct. It's like Super Saiyan Rose. It's like, what? This, like, they're just gonna go through like the whole like color spectrum with their hair. It's like, oh, his hair is blue now. He's a Super Saiyan God. Oh, his hair is white now. Oh, it's Ultra Instinct. Oh, his hair is pink now. That's Super Saiyan Rose. Like, it's like, whoa. So I will say that is kind of getting a little redundant. Um, but I still haven't answered the last question, which I have to find. Thomas Ender says, I agree. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Bum. Let's see. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Disney owns Fox. That means they own Gotham. Yeah, ain't that funny? Ain't that some crap, as they would say. All right. Everyone's asking. So I guess the last question was not really a question, but everyone keeps saying it. Teen Titans, Teen Titans. I haven't seen the movie yet. They're referring to Teen Titans. Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I haven't seen it yet. I know it came out, and yeah, Teen Titans seasons. Why is everyone saying Teen Titans season 6? Is
Spoiler at the end of Teen Titans Go.
Oh, is it?
I'll tell you 'cause you've seen it. Yeah.
Is it coming back?
They teased that it's coming back for another season on Cartoon Network, and that they're going to continue it.
Like the original OG.
The original cast shows up at the end in an end credit scene, a mid credit scene, and they say, "We found a way to get back."
So in the original animation and everything?
Yep. Original animation.
Oh, you son of a bees! No, you guys spoiled it for me.
Nice.
Well, yeah, it was just all in here. Anyway, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, that's really cool. I can't elaborate on it because I haven't seen the movie, but I'm all about a Teen Titans season 6. I'm all on that train. That's actually really. I'm surprised I didn't see that on social media like all weekend.
It's all over.
How did I avoid it until now?
Today it is. I don't know how.
Weird.
But today it's been everywhere.
Wow, you guys spoiled it for me. Tisk tisk. Tisk tisk. You know what I'm gonna do now? When I go to a premiere of a movie and I see the movie 2 weeks before you guys, I'm just gonna tweet it and spoil it. No. Yeah, that is really cool though. I'm excited for that. That's actually pretty big news. Again, I'm surprised I haven't seen that on the internet all day today because that is huge news. But yeah, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't talk about the movie. But it's Teen Titans season 6. All I can say is I'm super excited, and that is an awesome way to announce Teen Titans season 6. So really cool. So we're getting Clone Wars back this year or beginning of next year, which is awesome. And now we're getting Teen Titans back. That is really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna end on that note with spoilers for me. But yes, this week, guys, as far as Wednesday coming up, we're gonna be talking about the ultraviolet lantern core. We're gonna explain the origin of that and talk a little bit about what we know about it so far and maybe allude to how powerful it is because it kind of touched on that just a wee little bit with like a sentence or two in Justice League issue 3. So we're gonna talk about the ultraviolet lantern core, the invisible spectrum. That'll be I believe Wednesday's episode. And yeah, that's what to look out for. But also be sure if you want to watch My Hero Academia with me every week to click the link in the description below. Verb, you get a free 30-day ad-free trial, and then we can watch My Hero Academia together. Hopefully there's a new episode this week, and we can talk about it next Monday. But until Wednesday, see you guys next time.